Yo guys, what is going on? Alex Pandrea here. Welcome back to my channel and welcome back to 2020. Happy New Year. Hope everyone is having an amazing New Year so far, filled with magic and filled with that ambition to learn and keep pushing ourselves to become better and better performers. And that's what we try to do on this channel. So in today's video, we are going to go over a very simple routine that you can use using our favorite gimmick, a double backer. Now, I always get questions. Hey Alex, I got this weird gimmick in my deck. It's like two cards stuck together, but it's backed. I can't even, trust me, I get questions like that. So we are going to take you through a little idea of a routine that you can use a double backer for that might spark your creativity to use this gimmick further. All right, ready? Let's go. So what is a double backer? Well, it's exactly what the name states it is. It is a card with two backs. So two backs on one card, and usually these gimmicks are found occasionally in decks of cards, and maybe a lot of people don't know what to do with them. Besides the obvious thing that a lot of people do is using it for a double lift. Yes, so you do a double lift, and what's great about this is that then you can push over the one card and you're left clean because of the double backer. Usually if this was just a regular double lift, you cannot push over the one card because you would show a face here, but because of the double backer, you can show now that it's just the one card, and it can be used in an ambitious card routine, etc. Famously, it is the gimmick that fooled Houdini. But today we're taking a look at a little different idea using the double backer that's more along the lines of an anniversary waltz type routine. If you know anniversary waltz, it's where two face cards get stuck together and you're left with this gimmick. It's a double facer, but we're going to use a double backer because double facers are not as commonly found in decks, and you probably have a lot more double backers. So we're going to try to make the routine as follows. So I'll go through it, not really performing it, but show you the sort of idea of what I was thinking with it. So the effect is as follows. Two cards are selected by the spectators from the middle of the deck. Let's say it's the three of clubs and king of hearts. You say, look, I'm going to try to mend these two cards together, try to manipulate them so that they stick together into one card. I know it's a little weird, but if I just hold it tightly like this, and you know what, sometimes you need a little bit more pressure, so let's put it inside the middle of the deck. These two cards in the middle of the deck, and all you do is put a little bit pressure by riffling the cards, and just like that, and I think we could get the cards to stick together. Notice now that the cards are nowhere to be seen in the whole pack, and there's this one card right here, and it's actually two cards stuck together. Go ahead, check that out. You give it to the spectator, and they try to, you tell them, try to pull them apart like that. They obviously can't, and you say, look, we're gonna try to do this like this. Watch, if I just take the card, and if I just give it a shake, and just a light touch like this, you could actually get the cards to come apart. The three of clubs and the king of hearts, two cards, your two cards selected. You could go ahead, check that out, and they can't believe it. Tears come down their eyes, they run away screaming, and you have performed a miracle. Not so much a miracle, but a very sort of cute trick, I guess. So before we get into the explanation, I wanted to let you know, if you haven't already, that the Winter Knocks are now available on houseofplayingcards.com. We released them last week. If you haven't seen the trailer for these, you have to go check it out. It's the previous video that I posted. Now, it's a little hard to tell here on camera of the color of this. Now, this kind of just looks like a blank card, but they are a very, very light purple for one of them. We have a light blue for the other, called the Ice, Glacier Ice, and we have the limited edition green metallic, but I think these are sold out. So if you want those cards, link is down below. Let's get into the explanation. So you're gonna need a double backer, obviously, for this. It's gonna start off on top. Now, this effect is just the idea of taking the two cards, putting them sticking them together, and then sort of peeling them apart. You could do this in many ways. I'm gonna go over what I just showed you in the video, but then talk about different ways to do it. So you have the card on top. Two cards are selected just like this, and you're gonna place them face to face together like that. Now, what you're gonna want to do is place them in the middle of the pack, okay, and get a break above those two cards, all right? So whether you take them straight from the spectator and already cut there, it doesn't matter, or you take them just like this and riffle down halfway, just make sure that you want to keep a break above it, okay? So the simple way to do this is to pick up everything, push it down, keep your pinky there, and then do that and place it there so you have a pinky break. Or what you can do is just from here, push it so that you're out jogging it or side jogging it, and then with the pinky pull down and then get a break like that, so you don't have to lift the 2 packets up, but that's up to you. At this point, you're going to want to shift the 2 packets around so that these 2 cards are on top and this double backer is in the middle. All right. So the way that I do this is just with a simple shift. So I'm going to do a pass or a classic pass at that point. So you could shift the 2 packets around. So now these 2 cards face to face are on top and the double backer is in the middle. Okay, if you are not comfortable with doing that, what's great about doing a pass at this time is that you don't need it to be perfectly invisible because you're using the pattern as cover as while you're doing this motion. Okay, so I'm going to need a little bit of pressure, so if I hold on tight, boom, and then you do the pass. Okay, if you don't want to do this, you can obviously just, here, let's get it back to how it was. These 2 cards are in the middle like that, the double backer is on top. These 2 cards go in the middle, you hold a break, and now what you're gonna do is you're just gonna do a double undercut. This also can go with the pattern by saying, look, if I give the cards pressure, you don't want obviously this to split, but if I put pressure on the cards and the double undercut will go unnoticed. You'll be surprised how many times moves that are not logical in a routine go unnoticed by the spectator, and we try to use that to our advantage, okay? Or do any other shift in that matter, or however other way that you can think of getting these 2 cards on top while still having that double backer somewhere in the middle. All right, so that could be up to you to figure out how you want to do that. Maybe it's having the double backer in the middle and having the 2 cards being placed in the middle and somehow control only these 2 cards up. But that's for you to play around with. The easiest way is the one I just explained. So you have the 2 cards here on the top and the double backer in the middle, okay? So after you do this, you say, boom, look, I'm gonna put pressure on the cards to hopefully mend them together. So as you spread, you don't wanna spread this to flash, you wanna spread through the middle of the deck, turn everything over and go through it. Now you want to keep in mind whatever the 2 cards, the selected cards are, in this case 4 of clubs and 2 of spades, because you're going to want to say that when you're looking for the cards. All right, 4 of clubs, 2 of spades, nowhere to be found. Out jog this card, nowhere to be found. Look, 2 of spades, nowhere. 4 of clubs, nowhere. And you just don't go all the way to the end. Okay, so you could spread all the way to here. If you think that it's going to help, just pull down a few cards, maybe 3 or 4 cards, and now you can spread all the way, holding this together as 1 card. So that's 3 cards in this case, so that you can spread through and show that the cards are nowhere to be found, and then show this card as a reveal. At this point, the spectators have never seen anything like this before, and you're exposing the gimmick, sort of. So they're gonna take intrigue by this, right? Oh my God, what is this? This is crazy. And then you give it to them. So it's important to put this into their hands, I think. And as they're looking at that, you're going to turn everything over and you're going to get a break under 2 cards. So you could do a pinky pull down to get a break under the top 2, or you can just pick up here and just riffle as they're looking at this card and attention is not on you, okay? So as they're looking at it, maybe I just pick up here, get a break as I talk. From here, you're going to take the card, and what's going to happen is you're going to want to load these 2 cards underneath this card. All right, so you're gonna say, look, I'm gonna try to do this, and as you're doing this, you're coming together, picking up everything as you gesture, pointing at the spectator or move the box out of the way or something to that extent, okay? Now from here you have 2 options. You can place the deck on the table, sort of get rid of it, or you could do it with the card out jogged, held by the thumb, middle finger, and ring finger like this, so that the magic could happen out here while the deck is still here, which is gonna make the cleanup much easier. Or you can just place the cards down and then you're left in this position, which this part is much cleaner. All right, so it's just gonna depend on you how you feel more comfortable. Do you want a cleaner visual of the cards splitting like that, which will have a little bit more work for the cleanup, or do you want it to be here with the deck in hand, do the split, but then you're left very clean after you do that last double? So that's up to you. Let's go through that one by one. So the cards here, you split, all you're doing is you're using the fingers of the left hand to come in contact with the bottom card of the 3, and you are shaking, splitting, however you want to do this. You can maybe even hold it like this and then get it to spin around. All right, I've played with a few versions, but I think this one is the nicest, where you could just do this and start to spin it like this. Now at this point, right, you're gonna want to turn this over as a double, and the double will want to come underneath the top card, all right, for the cleanup. And the double lift that I use for here is to just take the card, now it is in this position, and you're gonna rotate it around like that by putting pressure, by bending it a little bit and putting pressure on the thumb, and then you are using your middle finger now to push it through like that and get it into this position, okay? Or at this point, you can literally, what you can do is just pick it up like that and then put it underneath the card, but you're gonna have to twist your arm a little bit for that. So that's why this is much easier, but if you are not used to doing that double lift, you can just come out here and then just place it like that underneath, okay? Showing the two cards. Now at this point you want to clean up, so you're going to want to take these two cards and place it on top of the deck. So remember, there's that double backer underneath this, so you're going to want to take the two cards, place it on top of the deck like that, and then immediately push over the two. So we're using the double backer in the advantage that we would have in a double lift scenario, but now it's a new premise, okay? So that's how you do it where the card is with the deck in hand, all right? So it would be like this. Boom, boom, double lift, come here, show the cards, place it down, then thumb these off. Or if you want the deck to be placed onto the table, you can go ahead, do the exact same thing, show the reveal. That's gonna get the first shocking moment, second shocking moment as you do the double from here, or you can reposition, do that, or any other which way that you want. But come here, do this, show the two cards like that. At here, you could have an option of actually gamblers copying out the card as you give them these cards to check. You could get rid of this, put it in your back pocket, etc. Or you can lap it at this point if you're sitting at a table, but getting rid of this gimmick. Or you can just hold the cards like this, pick up the deck, place this back on the top of the deck, and then push it off right away as you give these cards to be shuffled. Then this card could be palmed out, etc. to get rid of this gimmick or anything else that you choose from here. Now this in itself is a rather okay routine, but I urge you to play around with different ideas. For example, the ideal way that I would do this effect is to have a double backer in the middle of the pack, okay, or maybe towards the top in this case, and you would ask the spectator to name two cards. So name one card, name another card, they say the cards, then you go through the pack and you're gonna pull out the double backer, okay, you're gonna pull out the double backer, but while doing that, you want to find the two cards. So say they say 4 of diamonds, this is in the middle, they say 4 of diamonds, you tilt this up, and then you start to cull the cards that they say, and let's say they say 2 of spades, boom, boom, boom. You cull the cards, and then you out jog the double backer, okay? Now you want to give this to them and say, look, these are 2 cards mended together. I don't know which ones they are yet. And at this point, while they're checking this out, you want to reverse this card, the second card from the top. And somehow, what I would do is use maybe a secret technique of reversing it. Or you, as they're looking at this, you can literally push off the 2 cards, tilt down, okay? Grab this card like this as they point to it, and none is the wiser as you're talking to more people. A lot of this stuff can be unnoticed. And then go from here in the exact same way where you're taking the card, picking up all 3, placing the deck down, and you say, what card did you say? What card did you say? And like boom, boom, boom. Here are the 2 cards. Go ahead, check them out. You've copped this card out. And that would be the ideal way, I think, to do this effect. But of course, there are many variations in my mind right now that would be too long for this video, but at least it gives you the spark to start creating your own. Bam. Alright guys, there you have it. That was the video. Like I said, I want to try to do videos where it sparks creativity in you instead of just giving you exactly the step-by-step process. And that's a lot of the time what I talk about, especially when I lecture and I teach magic, is how to give you the fundamentals, the basics, the ideas, and then you could go ahead and say, you know what, Alex, I think this is better, and do it another way, because you know what I create is good for me. It might not be great for you, so it's in your best interest, and I think it's your job as a magician, as a creator, as a performer, to go out, take these techniques and make it your own, and make it special, and make it powerful. Now I have a question of the day for you all, and if you could answer down in the comments, I would really appreciate it. I want to know what type of content you would like to see from me in this year 2020. Now I've done a lot, obviously tutorials, I've done question and answers and vlogs, but I want to know, is there anything specifically that you want to see from me here on this channel? Because I take what you guys want and I put it into practice. I've always done this with all the material that I release and the decks that I decide to produce, and I always listen to feedback. So I want to know what you want to see, what kind of stuff, you know, make it random. Maybe it's not even magic material, maybe it's, you know, psychological tricks or things that you can use in your performance that magicians as a whole would be interested in. So that is the question of the day. I hope you enjoyed this video, I hope you learned something, and I hope you're going to take the time to comment down below so I can start reading and planning this year's content. Thank you so much, guys, and we will see you very soon on the next video. Peace.